Verge of collapse. In the heart of the land of Uz lived a man known for his unwavering integrity. Job, as he was called, was reverent before God, hated evil and never deviated from justice. His wealth was impressive: 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 1,000 oxen and a large number of servants. More than assets, he was blessed with a large family, 7 sons and 3 daughters who often celebrated together at festive gatherings. But what made Job such an exceptional man? Was it his constant concern for the spiritual conduct of his children, offering sacrifices immediately after their celebrations? Or was it the way he maintained his faith in the midst of so much prosperity? Certainly, his life was a rare example of devotion and kindness. Have you ever wondered how someone can keep faith in the face of unimaginable loss? Today we are going to learn the story of Job, an example of resilience and devotion that defies all logic. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and go. Your opinion in the comments. Share it with anyone who needs inspiration. One day in heaven, something unusual happened. Angels appeared before God, and among them was Satan, the accuser. The Lord asked, "Where do you come from?" Satan replied, "I have been wandering the earth, watching what happens." Then God, proud of Job, said, "Have you noticed my servant Job? There is no one like him, upright, righteous, and devoted to me." Satan, challenging Job's sincerity, declared, "It is easy to be faithful when everything is good. Take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you." God, confident in Job's faithfulness, allowed Satan to test his faith, but on one condition: not to harm his life. Thus, the stage was set for a test that would test not only Job's possessions, but also his own spirit. In the middle of a party for Job's children, the calamities began. First, a messenger announced, "The Sabaeans attacked, stole the oxen and donkeys, and killed the servants. Only I escaped to tell the tale." Before he finished, another came saying, "Fire fell from heaven and burned the sheep and the servants. I am the only survivor." The misfortune seemed to have no end. As the bad news piled up, another messenger arrived. 3 groups of Chaldeans attacked and stole the camels, killing all the workers. Only I survived to tell the story. Before finishing, a 4th messenger arrived and dealt them the most devastating blow. Their children were partying at the elder's house when a hurricane came from the desert. The house collapsed, killing them all. I am the only survivor. Faced with these tragedies, Job got up, tore his clothes, shaved his head and prostrated himself on the ground. With unwavering faith he declared, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return to the earth. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Even in the midst of loss and pain, Job did not sin or blame God. Days later, the angels gathered again before the Lord, and Satan was among them. Questioned by God about Job, Satan argued, "A man will do anything to save his own life. If he takes away his health, he will surely curse him." The Lord allowed Satan to physically attack Job, but forbade him to take his life. Job was stricken with a terrible disease, with painful sores covering his body from head to toe. Sitting on the ashes, he used a piece of broken pottery to ease his pain. His wife, consumed with despair, said, "Do you still maintain your integrity? Curse God and die." But Job replied firmly, "You speak like a fool. We have received good from God. Why should we not also accept evil?" In all this Job did not sin. 3 of Job's friends, Eliphaz of Teman, Bildad of Shuah, and Zophar of Naamah, came to comfort him. When they saw him, they barely recognized him, so deep was their anguish. They tore his clothes as a sign of mourning, covered his head with ashes and sat with him on the ground, in silence, for 7 days and 7 nights, sharing their pain without saying a word. For 7 days and 7 nights, Job and his friends remained absolutely silent. The pain was so visible that no words seemed able to express or alleviate Job's suffering. Finally, he broke the silence, revealing the weight he carried. His words were like a desperate cry coming from the depths of his soul. "Damn the day I was born," he began. "May the night in which I was conceived be erased from memory. May God forget it and transform it into eternal darkness." Job cursed the very moment of his existence, wishing that darkness would swallow the day of his birth, as if it had never happened. His lament continued with increasing intensity. "Why was the light of day born to me, only to make me endure a life full of suffering? I would rather have been born dead, never seeing the light of the world." There, in eternal rest, rich and poor, masters and slaves are finally free from their worries. He questioned the purpose of life in the face of suffering. Why does God allow the afflicted to continue living? Those who desire death more eagerly than the greatest of treasures do not find it. What is the point of living when everything is surrounded by darkness? Job's words were a mixture of anguish and reflection. He described his physical and emotional torment. My worst pains have become reality. Instead of food, I receive tears. Instead of relief, I receive grains of grief. My greatest fear is now my reality. His friends, upon hearing these words, were stunned, absorbing the depth of Job's suffering. There was no easy answer to such pain. However, in that outburst was the heart of a man who, despite everything, sought to understand the unfathomable ways of God. After Job's painful lament, his friend Eliphaz the Temanite broke the silence. His words were laced with compassion and rebuke. Job, do you mind if I speak? It is difficult to remain silent in the face of all this. You yourself were once the one who encouraged the weak and lifted up the discouraged. But now, when pain falls upon you, it seems that you have lost your strength. Eliphaz continued, trying to challenge Job's perspective. Shouldn't your pious life give you confidence? Shouldn't your devotion give you hope? Think with me, have you ever seen an innocent person perish for no reason? I have observed that those are they sow evil, reap evil. With a breath from God, they fall and their power is reduced to nothing. He recalled a disturbing dream he once had, a vision that filled him with fear. A figure appeared before me and I heard a voice asking, how can a mortal be more righteous than God? How can a man be purer? Your Creator? If God does not fully trust even his angels, how will he trust humanity, made of such fragile and transitory matter? If you like this story, like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave your opinion in the comments. Share it with whoever needs a message of strength. Until next time.